Hey everyone, this is your product designer from the Philippines, Alexis Collado, and in this video, we're going to talk about the collaborative UX exercise, the Design Studio. Do you want an effective way to collaborate and get consensus with a diverse team? How about gaining clarity over design direction, and at the same time, getting buy-in from your difficult stakeholders? Introducing one of my favorite UX methods of all time, the Design Studio. Personally, I've used this method countless of times to drive projects to success. In university, through this method, we designed an enlistment system for the whole student population, and our output trended on Twitter. I've used this a lot of times in a Y Combinator startup here in the Philippines for my work, countless of times to envision the first version of high priority features. I've also used it to make money outside in consulting projects. I've used this method to much success to help an internal team for a top conglomerate here in the Philippines in their redesign. Here's what happens in a design studio. Members of a team visualize or sketch UI to solve the problem of a specific persona. The UX designer or the product designer facilitates the session with rounds of critique or design critique. The beauty of this is that members get to build on top of each other's ideas, and then the best idea comes out on top through voting. What artifact should you expect at the end of a design studio? You can easily achieve over 100 ideas for your UI. As designer, you can then start working on that specific voted UI idea from the team into your favorite UI program and just work from there. What are the steps in implementing a design studio workshop? It's going to be a workshop, so create a diverse team. The more diverse the team members, the better. Don't just get designers and engineers. Include your product managers, people from marketing, customer support, people who are experts on the user. You can even invite your favorite executive to the mix. 5 to 7 members should be optimal for your exercise. Number 2, schedule time for the workshop. 2 to 3 hours should be enough. This is optional, but you can include a quick visual exercise for the group. Ask them to draw how to make toast. The goal of the exercise is to emphasize the value of visual thinking. For the next step, because it's a UI sketching exercise, present them the kinds of elements that they can sketch. What would a table look like? What would a button look like? If you're doing a drop-down menu, how would that look like in a sketch? You want to show the sketch version of these UI components so no one gets confused. 3 things for the materials. You need paper, dot voting stickers, and markers. Make sure you use markers because it's hard to see UI design sketches with just a ball pen or a pencil. Get the thick ones. Here's the important step. Once you have those things down, you want to frame the conversation around what problem are you solving? Who is the persona? Who is the customer? What specific problem are we trying to solve in this sketching exercise? You want to be very clear here. It's usually helpful to use the How Might We framework from IDEO. For example, how might we enable a recruiter to bulk process candidates? Since I work for a recruitment platform, that's the kind of problem statement I would work with. At this point, we are ready to start sketching. So it's the solution sketch time, and you're gonna give around 10 to 15 minutes for the whole group to finish sketching their solution to the problem that you framed. Okay, let's say the time is up. 10 minutes is done, what do you do? This is where the design studio gets really interesting. You're gonna do a round of design critique. A team member will probably take 2 to 3 minutes to explain their work, and the critique will happen afterwards. The other members of the team can do the critique, and the format can go like this. 1 or 2 things that I liked about this design is blank, and 1 or 2 things that I would improve is blank. As facilitator, you want to make sure that the members give positive comments and points for improvement. When doing feedback, it's usually more helpful if you ask questions. How does this solution sketch solve the persona's problem? Not everyone has to give a critique. When you're done with one person, you can move on to another person in the team. At the end of the round, everyone gets to present and all of their work has been critiqued by the team. After the critique, you're gonna go back to sketching, but you have to make this statement explicit. you can copy from your teammates in the next round of sketching. If they have a better idea or if you want to copy whatever feature they've thought of, you can. This ensures that only the best ideas come out on top at the end of the next rounds. You can rinse and repeat this process until you're satisfied with the amount of ideas that you have. If you don't just want to do individual sketching, there's actually a different way to do it. After you do individual sketching and a round of critique, you can do pair sketching and refine the ideas together as a pair. That can take from around 15 to 25 minutes. And on that round, you're still gonna do the critique, but as pairs. And for the third round or the final round, you can actually do a team sketch. The solutions that you generate from that essentially really helps you out in doing the UI design for your work. On the final round, you're gonna do silent sticker voting. If you have those circle stickers, you can put them on specific parts of the paper or even on the paper itself. What I like to do is to give more stickers to the decision makers, mostly executives or probably the product manager, people who have the final say on the design, and give 2 stickers to everyone else. Let them vote on the papers that solve the problem in the best way possible. So essentially, it's a cycle of sketch, critique, sketch, critique, sketch, critique, how many rounds you want, and then on the final round, you're gonna do voting. To do this remote, you can use software like Miro or Envision Freehand. You can get creative on how you want to do it, but essentially, the same principles apply. The design studio is ideal for the ideation phase. It combines both divergence and convergence, so you're really gonna end up with a really refined idea that tries to solve the problem. After the design studio, you want to make sure that you analyze the papers that have the most votes and comb through all of the ideas that the teams have generated. Once you analyze the solutions, you can go back to your UI design tool and start working on your high fidelity design. If you want to learn more about Design Studio, you can download the book by Brian Sullivan, The Design Studio Method. It's really helpful. I'll give you the link below. To finalize, the Design Studio helps you in 3 ways. First, your diverse team gets to collaborate and build consensus. Number 2, you get clarity over the design direction. And number 3, just from the nature of the exercise, you can get buy-in from difficult to manage stakeholders because it gets them to share their opinion and it makes them feel that they're part of the solution. If you like this video, please click like, subscribe, and the bell icon below. And let me know in the comment section, have you tried this method before? How was it in your workplace? Or what's your experience with it? I would love to know, and I'll see you on the next video.